everybody? How you doing today? Welcome to another episode of Travel Without a Cause. And in the words of Vincent Price, I know it's a little early for Halloween, but I got a little gift for you, a little early one, because today we're going to be looking at the filming locations of a movie called The Blob from 1988, which was a remake of the 1958, I believe, movie about a big gelatinous alien amoeba thing that comes to Earth and eats everybody and kills everything. And the movie takes place in California, and some of the filming took place in California, but most of it took place here in Abbeville, Louisiana, which is about 20 miles south of Lafayette. And we're going to go look at and discover some of the filming locations for that movie. So stay tuned, it's going to be a fun one, and here we go. So here's one of the scenes. You can see the Rexel drugs sign. It used to be a pharmacy. It's not a pharmacy anymore, but it still stands today and still Hoye drugs as per the sign. But you can see in this scene in the movie where you can see the lit up Rexel drugs sign right there. And it looks like the building's still original on the outside and everything. Pretty cool, huh? They salvaged it or kept it looking original. And here's Magdalene Square, where a lot of the scenes were shot. I'm in the courtyard right now, which is actually quite beautiful. Pretty fountain in the middle there. Downtown Abbeville is very pretty. I've always liked it out here. And here's looking down. This is like the opening montage of the movie. You can see where it's just the opening scene where people are walking around and all that stuff, and you can recognize some of the buildings. I'll just kind of hold this frame for a second so you guys can kind of pinpoint certain things that are in the movie that are still here today, obviously. Like this one right here on the left. Was painted differently, but it's still there. You can still tell it's the one in the movie. And straight ahead, we're looking at actually the Clerk of Court house or building straight ahead with the tower looking, the big White House behind the trees straight ahead. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, this is the opening credits. This is where you see all the people, like I said, just moseying around, walking around and all that stuff. So as you can see here, this building right here that you're looking at, to the left of this and all this empty space right here basically was a facade that was built, that was constructed just for the movie. And this is where the cafe stood in the movie. And it's kind of like a red brick cafe, and it actually looks like it in the movie. It looks like it's a real place that was already here that they used for the movie, but they actually built it just for the movie. And Actually have a pretty nice war memorial for Vermilion Parish, which is probably people that were from or are from Vermilion Parish who perished in the different wars: World War I, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam. It's actually pretty nice. But yeah, they just built the front like a facade just for the movie, for that cafe. And there's basically in the movie, between this building and the facade that was built, is basically, it served as an alleyway, as you'll see in the film, basically right here. And you could see where they were kind of standing, and it was right here. Almost like a little alleyway looking thing, right between this building and that facade for the cafe. So also in Magdalene Square, where we are right now, we were just talking about that, where the cafe was, and right here is the Bank of Abbeville, which served as the sheriff's office in the movie. And if you see, if you can see here, Brian, he's rounding the corner here, and this is like now it's called the Bank of Abbeville now, and that's what it's always been. But you can see him rounding the corner here in the movie, and it's right here. You can kind of see this behind him the whole time in that scene. And then also later in the movie, the front doors to the Bank of Abbeville, which was used as a sheriff's office, could be seen. I think it's more of an angle like this. In the scene, or multiple scenes. Good old movie magic. Pretty cool, huh? They just transform things and make it fit for the movie. Now, probably my favorite part of all this is this right here, Frank's Theater. This is a theater that we see in the movie, which was actually an abandoned theater at the time of the movie filming in 1988. And this theater, which has always been called Frank's Theater, was opened in 1931 and closed in 1983. So it was closed and basically abandoned about 5 years before this movie was filmed here. Inside and out, the indoor scenes and the outdoor scenes were filmed here. And there was actually a movement around that time to, save and renovate and keep alive Frank's Theater. It's called Save the Franks. That was the name of the campaign or whatever to keep this place open. And you could see people, in the movie, you can see people outside of it. And I don't think we'd be able to get inside, but the indoor scenes inside the theater where the Blob is moving around and doing its thing in the theater, hunting. It's in here. It's still a beautiful structure indeed. I'm so glad, like I said in other vlogs, I'm so glad to see things like this preserved. I mean, this thing is 91 years old. So awesome. Check this out. This isn't even in the movie, but look how nice it is. Like an old train depot. Got an old caboose on there too. Wow. Wonder what the history of this is. Have to come check this out. Might be another vlog. Cool. I wonder if those little lights on it still light up at night. That's a nice little surprise. So what we're approaching right now, if you remember the garage that's in the movie, was this building right here. Apparently now it's a event hall or rental hall, but in the movie it served as the garage, which you can easily see. Makes total sense. Let's take a look at this and see what it looks like on the other side. And so I was just conversating with the resident who actually lives next door to that train depot building we just looked at, and his house is actually on the National Register of Historic Places. It was built in 1891. Real nice guy though. He was standing outside when I was walking back from. I was right across the street from where the garage, the event venue that was used as the garage in the movie. He lives right across the street from there, and he was saying he remembers back in '88 when they were filming this, and he remembers all the fuss going on and all the film crews and all that gathering for the movie. He didn't want to be on film though, so I thought I'd just tell that to you guys myself, but thought it was pretty cool. There's a square again. Beautiful. I actually took my senior photos. Like I said, Abbeville is 20 miles south of Lafayette, but I took my senior graduation, well, not graduation, but high school senior photos in this square. And it feels like a lifetime ago. Beautiful though. And there's Frank's Theater across the street. Bank of Abbeville, which was the sheriff's office in the movie. And now we're walking straight ahead, and that big white building over there with the tower looking thing on it is the Clerk of Court building, Vermilion Parish Clerk of Court. And in the climax of the movie, when everything comes to a head and the blob thing is crawling up you'll see here the front facade of the building. It was at this building, and over the front doors they had Arborville, or City of Arborville, or whatever it was that they added for the movie. And ironically, the name Arborville is very familiar, or very similar to the word or name Abbeville, where we are. Maybe that's why they chose it, I don't know. But it was definitely a B movie. It wasn't bad though. They didn't do a bad job with it. It was actually done pretty well. But it was definitely a B movie. It was written and directed by a man named Chuck Russell, and co-written by a man named Frank Darabont. And the stars of the movie were Shawnee Smith, and Shawnee Smith, she was in a couple of different movies, but overall, it was like a B movie for sure. Kevin Dillon, Donovan Leitch, Jeffrey DeMunn, Kenny Clark, and a man named Joe Seneca. That was the stars of the movie. Or those were the stars of the movie, excuse me. My grammar is getting all twisted up here. But yeah, look at this place. It's really nice. The Clerk of Court. Vermilion Parish Clerk of Court. And if you guys have no idea what The Blob is or anything about it, it's just a movie that was made in 1958 and remade in 1988. And it's basically an alien life form blob, gelatinous blob thing that comes to Earth and wreaks havoc. And all the teenagers kind of trying to alert the town about this thing that's wreaking havoc, but nobody wants to listen to them. And it gets into like the water system and the sewers and all that stuff, and then it starts, you know, seeping its way through the water systems and all that stuff, and just kind of doing its killing. And then, of course, once the townspeople catch on to it, it's almost too late, and things are already crazy and all that. So, and in the movie, you can see right up that front wall, like right where that balcony is and all that, the blob's just climbing up that front wall, just bigger than it's ever been, and it grows like uncontrollably throughout the movie. It just exponentially grows. And you know, it's one of those kind of B movies, you know, sci-fi movies that we've all come to love throughout the 70s and mainly 80s for sure, in its heyday. It's a pretty building though, very pretty building. And they've definitely taken a lot of care of this building over the years. Still looks almost brand new. And this is pretty much everything I showed you so far. This is everything that's in downtown Abbeville, in the square and all that. Next, I'm going to show you where the football stadium was, where the football game that they show in the movie was. And that's at a high school right down the street. And it's here in Abbeville, a high school called Vermilion Catholic. And there's also a cemetery in the movie that's here in Abbeville. Look how big this building is. Like the Abbeville version of the White House. Really nice. So yeah, here we are at Vermilion Catholic High School here in Abbeville, about maybe 2 miles away from where we were earlier downtown. And this is where the high school football scene was taking place, or filmed. And right where I'm facing right there, I'll zoom in a little bit, right at the bottom right-hand corner of the bleachers is where you can see the people cheering the football team on, or the game on. And I'm kind of more of like a right to left angle. I think that the angle in the movie is more of like a left to right angle. But yeah, this is where it was filmed at, right there. Same bleachers and everything, same since 1988. Probably way before that. I'm sure this is older than that for sure. But and back there, you can see a cemetery back there, and that's where the cemetery scene was filmed. And we're gonna go drive by there real quick, and go take a look at that. But yeah, this is where the the football game was, or at least the football game scene was filmed with people in the bleachers and all that, right here in Abbeville. And like I said, some of this movie was filmed in California, but I think the majority of it was definitely here in Abbeville. All the exterior scenes, except for save a couple of them maybe, were filmed here in Abbeville. The other 2 or 3 outdoor scenes were in California. And here's the cemetery, which is right next door to the high school. You can see the bleachers right there. And this is the cemetery where, or as I say, this is a cemetery that they used for the filming of the movie. I'm going to drive around and let you see it for a second. So yeah, friends, I hope you enjoyed that one. I sure did. This is my first movie location vlog, and I plan to do a lot of these things in the future if I get a chance to do so. And so feel free to go watch that movie, go find it. I don't know where it's streaming at, but you can go watch it and then watch my video and then try to pinpoint the locations that I showed you, or vice versa. You can watch this video first and then go watch the movie again, or I should say watch this video again and then go watch the movie, or watch it at the same time and try to see if you can match it all up. I don't know. Mix it all up if you want to. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And a little bit early for Halloween, but who cares, right? We're about 5-6 weeks ahead of schedule, but it's about that season now. So if I could do another one that has to do with something like this, I'd love to do it. And I'll definitely make a vlog for it for you guys. And in the meantime, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know when I post more videos. Still trying to post them every Monday and Thursday when I can, and at least 2 a week. And yeah, so stay tuned. Leave comments if you like, suggestions, all that stuff. And I'll hang it up here at the cemetery that was used for the Blob, the 1988 version, not the 1958 version. And then Vermilion Catholic High School in the background over there that was used for a scene also. And yeah, so signing off from another episode of Travel Without a Cause. This is Matt, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, folks.